Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and it's my pleasure to rise today virtually to speak to Bill C-220 to amend the Canadian Labour Code regarding bereavement leave. Now, this bill reflects the important work that we can all do on issues that are important to so many Canadians. And I'd like to personally thank the member from Edmonton Riverbend to be recognized and commended for his work on this bill. And what piqued my interest in this bill was the member's heartfelt interest in the struggles of families as they deal with the care of their loved ones and the grief that they deal with after they pass. Now, this bill has received the support of all parties, and this bill highlights that no matter where we stand on an issue, that issues like this are important to all. This bill addresses the tragedy of the difficulty and the tragedy of people go through when they lose a loved one, and that caregiving that they experience leading up to that period of time. Now, one thing I learned from my short time in the House, and I would like to commend the Speaker for, is he said from time to time that speak from the heart. So that's what I'll do today, because this is a very personal bill for me. My family lost a loved one. I lost my son 2 months ago. And I can tell you that he lived his life as a very full life, but with Duchenne muscular dystrophy. And my wife was the principal caregiver. And it wasn't a principal caregiver for months or days, but she was a principal caregiver for years. And I can't explain to you enough on how difficult that is for a family, for a parent, to be able to look after a child that has declining health. And we're just one example of many families that are out there. I have good friends of mine now the mother is in late stages of MS, and the family collectively together are looking after this person. Now, they have caregivers that come and go, but the one thing I tell people is that when you have caregivers that are helping with these families, that you're always waiting for the knock on the door. That knock on the door when someone will come in and tell you, I need your help, something's gone wrong. And that's something that these families live with, and they live with when they're trying to give this compassionate care. So I can tell you from personal experience that you put everything into the care of your child, and when that child passes, it doesn't end. And this bill just goes a small way towards trying to give some relief to those families. It's an extra week, and I would tell you it's been 2 months for me, and it's not a day that I go by that I don't think about my son. And I know this is the same for many families out there, and it doesn't matter what the illness is or what you've been treating. That's the fact of life, that when you lose someone, it doesn't expire in 2 weeks. It doesn't expire in 3 days. Many have spoken about the impact that this has on families. And that's why I commend the work of the member from Riverbend taking this task on and pushing a private member's bill forward to make sure that this is an issue that we take seriously. It's a very small thing we can do as parliamentarians to try and help the people out there that are suffering with this level of grief. Now, I can assure you that I've heard from all kinds of groups that have been trying to counsel and help parents with dealing with the loss of a child or the caregiving leading up to that point in time. And they would tell us unequivocally that this is a good piece of legislation and it deserves our support. And it has my full support. And I appreciate the members who are here today and who are listening, that they've actually shown their support as well, because this is important for families. Now, to me, there is improvements that we can make, and there's more than we can do, but this is a valuable, valuable first step. And I do believe that this would be appreciated by so many people. And I hope that we're able to get this private members bill through, and it definitely deserves our attention. My family would have appreciated something like this. And in my case, how you deal with grief is I launch back into my work, and that's how I deal with it. But that's not the same for everybody. So many families need the time. They need that time to heal. And at the very least, they need that time to be able to get affairs in order and be able to carry on with their lives. Many employers are very giving when situations like this arise. And they, if they're good employers, they certainly do try and help their employees through these difficult times. But this is an opportunity for those people who fit under the umbrella of this act, that they at least know that they'll have a little bit of support to be able to support their families. So I'll close with this. This is difficult for families. It is incredibly difficult. You lead up into something, you lose someone, and you need some time.